Hi everyone, welcome to the channel, welcome to the next video, and today we're going to be making the perfect protein brownies with ingredients you're most likely going to have at home. That's a good mix. So sit back, enjoy the video, give them a try and let me know what you think. So following some really positive feedback from my protein pancake recipe that I done a while ago, I thought it'll be a great idea to have a look at other baked goods and see if we can do another protein-based recipe again. And over the past year, the thing I've probably seen most, and I've had a lot of brownies, and I am, yeah, I really have, is brownies. And I thought, chucking protein into the brownie, let's see what we can make and see what we can give a try. Bit of disclaimer, like I said in the protein pancake videos as well, is just because it's got protein on it, doesn't mean that it's necessarily a healthy recipe or it's a recipe that's going to help you lose weight. This quite simply means it's got more protein in the brownie. That's pretty much as simple as it gets. And to keep it simple, for any of you out there wondering why would I put more protein into it, quite simply the fact is that protein is the most filling macronutrient. So out of proteins, fats and carbs, gram for gram, protein fills you up the most. So by adding in a little bit extra, the chances are it's going to leave you feeling a little bit fuller and a little bit more satisfied. But with that being said, obviously I am a fitness kind of folk and this is kind of a fitnessy based channel. So the idea is I do try and control the calories as best as I can, but try not to ruin the flavour of the food at the same time. Understandably, this isn't going to be to the standard of the ultimate gooey brownie you might come across on
Bake Off.
Bake Off. I was trying to think of the best thing to say. The best Mary Berry brownie that you're ever going to come across, but it is good for what it is. So we're going to go get into it, we're going to get all the ingredients put together and start the bake. So like I said, the ingredients are most likely stuff that you're going to have at home, and obviously you're watching a protein based thing, so I'd like to think you've probably got protein at home. And for me, that is whey protein, by Whey protein, and we use chocolate caramel. We always have done. Obviously whatever flavour you go for, totally up to you, but with a chocolate brownie, chocolate flavour kind of makes sense. Then we're looking at the stuff that you probably have got hidden in your cupboard somewhere. So we've got plain flour, caster sugar, cocoa powder, baking powder. In your fridge you've got butter, chocolate, might not, but we've got dark chocolate for today, a couple of eggs, and fry light because, yeah, we're trying to keep it slightly clean. So I suppose the simplest way to put it is we're going to have the wet products and the dry products and then just mix them all together, bring the batter together and stick it in the oven. While we get mixing all this, the oven is on at 180. It's about 180. If anyone's wondering who I'm looking at Emma. She kind of comes up with the ideas or kind of helps me develop these ideas, and then I just act like the idiot behind the camera. But I always look at her for a, what is it, like confirmation, reassurance. So first things first, we've got the butter that we want to melt down. Obviously, whatever you want to go for it. We try and keep it with the light butter. Same again, slightly calorie controlled where possible. And it's for a good reason. Because we need about 100 grams. This is like always the annoying thing. Boom, smashed it. And then to that, we're gonna add the chocolate. I'd probably say somewhere between 40 to 50 grams is what we're gonna go for. We're sort of on the last little bits of chocolate, so we're scraping for what we've got, but we're gonna go for, I reckon, 40, 47. So about 50 we'll probably do. Quickly whack it in the microwave. Obviously you don't wanna burn your chocolate. That's probably like one of the big things. So just sort of keep an eye on it and then give it a quick stir every sort of 10 seconds or so. So as you can see, the butter melts quite quickly. The chocolate takes a little bit more time, but the trick is it will melt. Obviously, as you sort of leave it, it will start to melt with the heat of the butter. So the last thing you want to do is sort of torch it and end up burning it, because that's never a good thing. So while we're waiting for the butter and chocolate to finish off melting, we add the dried products into the bowl, and it's quite an easy split. It's 90, 90, 90. So we're gonna go for 90 grams of caster sugar. That'll probably make all you fitness folk wince. But this isn't just for one brownie, by the way, so don't worry too much. To help make sure that you've got no lumps, you wanna just change the bowls quickly and then weigh out your flour, your protein powder and your cocoa, and then we can basically sieve that in with the sugar. So we've got 90 grams of plain flour. Pretty weird technique of tapping it into the bowl. Tap, tap, tap. We're then gonna add 90 grams of the protein powder. Averagely, they would say it's about 30 grams a scoop. but that does vary. As you can see there, that's 36. So I would always say give it a measure rather than just going off the size of a scoop, but it will probably be about 2.5 to 3 scoops. And then we're gonna add the cocoa powder, which is only a small amount. This is just 15 grams. And obviously, cocoa powder is quite a strong flavour, so it's more there just to give it the chocolatey punch, but you don't need too much. Tap, tap, tap. That'll be alright, won't it? I can't be asked to scoop out cocoa powder, to be honest. So about 15 or 16 grams would be just fine. And then for the magic ingredient, we've got the baking powder, which is about half a teaspoon. I mean, what's that in grams? Probably about 3, I think, 2, 3. 2.5. Now we'll see that the chocolate and butter is now fully melted together. So now that's sorted, that dry stuff sorted, we're gonna add the 2 eggs into the sugar. Try and avoid getting the shell in there if you can. Really awkward way to crack an egg. 2 eggs in with the sugar. So just combine those 2 together. Knackered. And you want to sort of keep it going until you start to see a bit of a pale colour. I mean, this is the part where you're actually burning the calories off, so you're ready to actually consume them again. I'm in agony after this one. That hurts. Look at that forearm then. Look at that. Throbbing. So keep it going until it's got a light colour or you're completely cramped up in the forearm. And then we're going to add the chocolate and butter into that. Then just knock those 2 in together, and that is your wet stuff. Now all we got to do is add the dry stuff. So we've got this one. That'll do. So just want to add this into the sieve. Same again, this is like what the class is a recommendation. Obviously you don't have to do it, but the idea about the sieve is you can then just knock out any sort of lumps. Because obviously the last thing you want to do is be chowing down on your brownie and get a nice clumpy flour lump in your mouth. Tap, tap. There's a lot of tapping going on, isn't there? See, if we didn't sift that out, imagine that getting stuck in your teeth halfway through your brownie and coffee, look. And then, quite simply, all you gotta do is knock the dry and the wet in together. I'm not a natural at stirring. I really am not a natural at this. Tell you what, there's a certain sort of talent in there, isn't there? Yeah, I can't push through with a whisk anymore, so I'm going to just quickly use my spatula. Once you've actually got the powder and that kind of mixed in, I'd probably say it's a good idea to go to something a little bit more robust than this flimsy whisk. And then just finish off by sort of folding it in together and make sure that obviously it's all combined, and that actually looks worldy though. Ooh, now that's a good mix. So you grab some grease-proof paper that we cut earlier, and this is where your fry light. It's one I made earlier. We've then got the fry light, which quite simply, spray your little tin. So I just got politely reminded that the spray is actually for the sides of the pan, not the bottom. My logic was it sticks the paper down, but Em said actually you want it to not stick the brownie to the side of the pan. So we get the paper in there. That is quite simply there just so you can lift out the brownie nice and easy at the end. See? Sticks to the base. Don't mock my baking skills. You just gloop that into there. And then we're going to spread it all out. Make sure it covers the whole pan. So once it's all in there, all you've got to do is make sure you spread it across the whole pan, and you've got your little brownie mix at the ready. So this is then going to go into the oven. I'd say it sort of goes around sort of 10 to 15 minutes, but I'd always recommend just sort of keeping an eye on it. Stick a knife in it to see if it's sort of still sticky, and we'll take it from there. So we're just going to chuck it into here. Set the timer for 10, and we'll keep an eye on it. What a brownie. So that is 10 minutes. As you can see, slightly risen. Hello dogs. So what we want to do is just stick a knife in there, Let it in there for say 2 seconds and then pull it out. So as you can see, there is a little bit of gooiness still in there. So we're going to probably give it an extra sort of 2 minutes and then check again to see how that's coming out. Right, and we're just going to check it again. Give it a quick stab, pull, and the knife is clean. Basically means your brownie's done. And that is a nice crispy top. So we're gonna remove, not as easy as I first thought, cut the edges because the fry light worked really, really well. So once you've eased that out, we'll just take it on over.
Half the sides fell off. Did you cut that?
Yeah, no, that was me. That's where I chopped it. So we just want to take off the easy peel, and then you can either let it cool or obviously cut into it when it's warm. This, ideally, I'd probably say you want to cut it into sort of 8 brownies, totally up to you. What I'll do is in the description I'll put the calories and the macro breakdown so for sort of the whole thing, and obviously you can divide it down as you want to. So if we were to cut it into, what do you reckon, 8?
Yeah.
So if we cut it into 8, I mean you can see they're quite good size portions. There is the brownie. Taste test. Not bad. Not bad. So as you can see by the brownies, they do look a little bit dry. The problem you come to find when you cook with protein powder, it does dry the products out. That is like a massive, massive issue. For me personally, I love like proper gooey brownies, like moist as you like. The only thing with that is it has to have a really high fat content and you can't really have protein powder in it. So what we're trying to do is obviously give you a bit of an insight to what a protein brownie would look like. It would be more of a drier brownie rather than a sort of a moist, wet brownie, but the flavour is still there. And when you add a little bit of sauce to it, it does taste really, really good. You can try various other ingredients like beetroot or chickpeas or black beans. I've seen all these kind of recipes, but the idea behind today's recipe was to use stuff that you've probably got at home. I've had a play with various things such as yogurt and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem to come out quite right. This seems to be sort of the best that I've got it so far. A bit like with the pancakes, you can add whatever you want to it. If you want to add chocolate chips into it while you're cooking it, that'll give it a little bit more sort of moisture and texture as well. But for me, I do quite like to add my chocolate sauce. I've mentioned them before, Sweet Freedom. I have all kinds of flavours, and a quick drizzle of that over the top, that looks like a damn good brownie. So that brings it in towards the end of the video, everyone. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'd say give it a go, let me know what you think, and if you have any other recipe ideas that you'd like me to give a go, then obviously comment it down below as well. While you're here, I always do like to ask, just to support my little journey, if you can subscribe to the channel, and if you have enjoyed the video, make sure you pop it a like, because that does go a very long way, and I really do appreciate it. Until next time, take it steady guys, enjoy some baking, and I'll see you in the next video.